Yes, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another episode of Premier League Predictions. Now, of course, as you may know, I'm supposed to be doing this on Friday, but since they're midweek games and since I've been and my target is to do every single Premier prediction on my YouTube channel. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So, yeah, there's about 5 games to go, or more than that for some people have got games in hand. So, yeah, the season is about to end, and yeah, we're nearly approaching May. So there's about a month to go since the Premier League is over. So, yeah, I mean, this season has gone quick, but time flies when you're having fun, eh? So, there you go. So, hope you guys have a good week. I did say my prediction for Man United Brighton that it will end 2-2. Got that wrong. But I did say we'll go to penalties and Man United will win. And that's exactly what I've got. So, yeah, got that prediction spot on. For the Man City Sheffield United game, I went for Man City win of 4-0, but it's actually 3-0. So, I was one goal away, but listen, I went for Man City win, so well done. So yeah, it will be the first ever Manchester Derby FA Cup final because it's never happened before. So I am certainly looking forward to it. I'll be definitely doing a live watch long. I promise you that I'll do it this time because of the last couple of weekends I've been so busy. That's why I couldn't able to do live watch long for the semi-final of both Man City, Sheffield and Brighton, Man United. But I will promise you that since this is a Manchester Derby final in the FA Cup, I'll be definitely covering that when it's when we enter June. I think it's June the 3rd, they say, something like that. So yeah, make sure you guys check that out. Right, we had a couple of surprising and also really surprising, like the Arsenal Southampton game. Like, I've got a stat for you guys here, and I'm gonna do talk about the main talking points about what happened the last results. Then I'm gonna do my predictions for this week. So make sure you guys check that out. So Arsenal Southampton, like Arsenal, you're at home, you're at the Emirates, and you're facing a Southampton team who are in 20th. Yes, they're fighting for their lives, but you got better squad than them, you got a better manager than them, you got a bigger fan base than them, you've won more trophies than them, you got a bigger capacity than Southampton. So I expect them to really beat Southampton 3-0 because the way they drew against Liverpool, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would take that because going to Anfield ain't that easy, so I'll take that a point. But West Ham, surely you've got to beat them. They bottled that. Southampton, they bottled that. Instead of going like maybe 2-0 up, they were 2-0 down, yeah, after in the first 30 minutes. There's 20 the first goal, Ramsdale, I don't know what he was doing. That was 29 seconds. And let me tell you something, yeah. Both goals that Arsenal conceded at home was the fastest ever this season. Of course, the first one was against Bournemouth. Now they've done the same thing against Southampton. But in that Bournemouth game, Arsenal won. But in the Southampton game, they drew. So, yeah, it looks like after that international break, it looks like Arsenal haven't been clicking that much. So, could the title fall away down to Arsenal? Well, this Wednesday is going to decide because Manchester got 2 games in hand. And if they win those games in hand, they could be above them. And if they beat Arsenal this Wednesday, then that means the title will pretty much hand to City. And the only way City, for me, can win the title if they continue this winning run of form. They cannot drop any points. They cannot get a draw or a loss. They need to make sure that they keep on winning and also keep on falling off. So that's why this Wednesday, I am certainly looking forward to it. I wish the Chelsea game was on a Tuesday because we had like a week off and we didn't play on Saturday. So I wish our game was on a Tuesday, but unfortunately our game is on a Wednesday and it's the same as Man City versus Arsenal. So make sure you check out the double watch along for the Chelsea Brentford game and also the Man City Arsenal game. The one I'm looking forward to is the Man City Arsenal because I don't like watching Chelsea at the moment. So as a wife and as a football fan, I want to watch that big game at the Etihad. So yeah, so make sure you guys check that out. I'll be definitely doing that on Wednesday. So yeah, Arsenal, they didn't lose. They don't give up. But the fact that you drew and you didn't win, that's just the fact that you've dropped you dropped 6 points in your last 3 games. Like if they would have beaten Liverpool, West Ham, and who else? Southampton. They could have been 11 points clear if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Five. Yeah, 11 points clear with 2 games out against City. And you can definitely say that Arsenal winning the title. But the fact they didn't do that shows you that that City have more highest percentage to win the title than Arsenal. Honestly, Arsenal need to wake up. If they want to win a title, they need to do an impossible job and beat Manchester City at the Etihad. Because let me tell you something, yeah, Arsenal are going to really poor record against Man City in the Premier League. The last time Arsenal beat Man City in the Premier League was in 2015. That was about 8 years ago, you know. 8 years ago. Like, no matter it's at the Etihad or the Emirates, Arsenal just simply cannot beat them. So, could this be their time to really prove the rival fans that Arsenal can win the title and can beat Manchester City? We shall wait on Wednesday. So, looking forward to that game. That is the game of the weekend. Of course, there's also Tottenham Man United, but people don't want to watch that one. Even though both teams are fighting for the title, for the top four, they want to watch the Man City Arsenal. So, there you go. There you go. Right, guys, let me just quickly turn off the light. Right, there we go. Let me shut this. Yeah, so Arsenal have it all to do. If they do win, and if they do beat Man City, then I say that Arsenal will win the title. But if not, then Man City will win the title for the third time, and they'll become the best Premier League team ever because no team has ever won it 3 times in a row. Not even Manchester United. So yeah, there you go. So Man City could be the best. So I know my United fans will hate to see Man City lifting it. So that's why they wanted Arsenal to win the title. Me, as a Chelsea fan, I don't want Arsenal to win it. But listen, Man City have got more titles, Premier League titles than Chelsea. So that's why I also want Arsenal to win it. So there you go. So Arsenal, if you want to win a title, make sure you beat City. Keep this winning one. Then you'll be the champions of the Premier League. So there you go. There you go. Right, this one, the time now is 6:10, and as I'm about to prepare myself to record and talk to you guys about my predictions, about 40 minutes ago, my phone kept receiving notifications. I opened it and then I looked at it and went, Tottenham have sacked. What's his name again? Cristiano Stellefi. Oh no, let me say properly. Hold on. Let me say properly. Yeah, Christian Stellini. Yeah, Tottenham outside Cristiano Stellini after that embarrassing and horrific performance against Newcastle. Now, my prediction was 2-0 Newcastle. Of course, I'm going to get 1 point because it was actually 6-1. But the fact that Tottenham have conceded 5 goals in 21 minutes, and by the way, that's the second fastest one to achieve that. The only team to ever score 5 goals in the quickest game in Premier League history was Man City against Watford when they beat them 8-0. Man City scored 5 goals in that first half in 80 minutes, so Newcastle could have achieved that one. But listen, Tottenham are just absolutely embarrassing. Yes, Chelsea are worse, but Tottenham are absolutely embarrassing. How can you go from sacking Antonio Conte to bring in Cristiano Stellini? Like, what is Daniel Levy thinking? If I was a Tottenham fan, I'll be bringing out the banners, I'll be bringing out everything, and I'll tell my friends who are Tottenham fans, go to White Hart Lane and sing, we want Wobby out, say we want Levy out. Because honestly, Levy don't know anything about football. Well, he's not an American owner like Todd Bowley, but listen, he doesn't know how to get Tottenham to win games, how to win a trophy, and guess what? This later on this year, it will be Harry Kane's 30th birthday, and he has never ever lifted a major trophy in his life. So this is what I'm telling you guys why Harry Kane needs to leave, because if he still stays at Tottenham, then he's an absolute idiot. Let me tell you something, yeah? This season, if he would have went to Manchester United, he would have lifted that trophy because they won the Carabao Cup. If he would have went to Arsenal, maybe, just maybe, he could have lifted a trophy because Arsenal are still in first place. If he would have went to Manchester City, he would have had a chance to either lift either the FA Cup or the Champions League because Man City have a chance to win the treble. So to me, I feel like him going to Man City would be a better option than going to Arsenal and Manchester United. Whereas if you look at last season, if we went to Chelsea, we'd have lifted the Super Cup and the FIFA Club World Cup. If he'd have went to Manchester City, he would have lifted the Premier League. If he'd have went to Liverpool, FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, because they've won it on penalties. Or maybe he could have went to a different club, the likes of Real Madrid, last season, Barcelona this season. They're in the title race. Dortmund, or maybe Bayern Munich, but mostly don't because they're in the title race. Maybe PSG too. If he would have went to those teams, he would have definitely lifted the trophy and he would become a footballing legend. But he still ain't. For me, he's the greatest Premier League player, but for me, he ain't a footballing legend because the only way for him to do that is to lift a trophy. That's why Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, Ronaldinho and Pele are the greatest of all time because they have lifted a trophy, a major trophy every single season. Harry Kane hasn't. So to me, if I was Harry Kane, I would definitely leave Tottenham because they're going to make you feel worse and worse and worse, heartbroken, angry, sad, and all of that time. And they would never allow you to lift that trophy. So to me, if I was Harry Kane, I would definitely leave Tottenham this summer. Yeah, not now because the season is about to close very soon, but next season I would definitely leave. And if he doesn't, then he's on his own. Yeah, for me as a Chelsea fan, I would take Harry Kane. But would Harry Kane want to come to Chelsea right now? I really don't think so. So we're gonna have to wait and see. You see. Loads of notifications. There you go about Tottenham sacking. It's just honestly Tottenham are embarrassing. Yes, Chelsea are more embarrassing, but Tottenham are just like Chelsea, but a bit worse because we've won something where we've been successful, but Tottenham only won one major trophy in my lifetime, and that was in the Carabao Cup. So there you go. So Tottenham are a bit more embarrassing than Chelsea. So there you go. So yeah, Tottenham has sacked Cristiano Stellini. So and they brought him and they bring it back Juan Mason as the interim manager. Like for me, Tottenham are a laughing joke because how can you go from sacking an interim coach and then having another interim coach? Like to me, it doesn't make any sense. It just don't. So yeah, Daniel Levy, he needs just to leave the club because honestly, he's got to be the worst owner ever. Like honestly, he knows how to spend, but he doesn't know how to spend it right, and he doesn't know how to make the managers happy. He just makes it worse and worse and worse. And I can tell you, Conte said from top to bottom, Tottenham are just absolutely rotten. From the players, the managers, the eating, the owner, everything. And he was absolutely spot on when he talked about that. So Conte was speaking fact. So thank goodness I'm not a Tottenham fan. Otherwise, you just see me screaming and ranting and all that stuff every single time. But listen, I'm a Chelsea fan, so Chelsea are bigger than Tottenham. We may not have a bigger stadium than them, but we will do in a couple of years, so there you go. But listen, Chelsea will be far bigger and better than Tottenham than, over the next couple of years because, yeah, we've been successful in the last 20 years. They haven't, so that's the big difference. So there you go. So Tottenham, I would love to keep on laughing because I absolutely love it. I love the banter. So yeah, Tottenham are simply embarrassing. Where do they go from here? I'm really not sure. So good luck to Tottenham from now to the end of the season. So there you go. Alright guys, so that's all the few talking points. The Arsenal, Southampton, the Newcastle, Tottenham, and the FA Cup which I talked about. Now it's time for me to sorry guys, let me just quickly turn this off. Yeah, now it's time for me to go over my predictions for this midweek game week number 33. So without further ado, let's go. Alright, so the first game is Wolverhampton Wanderers against Crystal Palace. Now, of course, Crystal Palace should have beaten Everton because they had so many chances, but listen, they didn't lose, so that's a good thing. And Everton kept it clean, and that's a good thing for Everton because they need to at least not to lose, otherwise they could be serious trouble. So there you go. For me, Crystal Palace were the better team, and they should have beaten Everton last week. But listen, these two Wolves against Crystal Palace. Now this game is so tough, but to me, my first point is that I'm going to have to go for Crystal Palace win. But the fact that this is at Molineux and Brentford when they've lost, Chelsea when they've lost. So yeah, I was thinking 2-1 Crystal Palace, but I'm just have to go for a 1-0 Wolves win, because I think it's going to be a difficult game for both Wolves and Crystal Palace. But listen, Wolves are out of the relegation zone, because if you look at the table, um, Wolverhampton Wanderers are on 34 points, and they're 6 points behind the 6 points above the relegation. So if they keep on winning, which I think they will do, then I feel like they would definitely stay up. So yeah, that manager for Wolves is doing an incredibly job. So I'm gonna go for 1-0. I think it's gonna be so tight, but I think Wolves will just nick it, and I feel like Diego Costa will score for them at stoppage time, because I think Crystal Palace will dominate, have the better chances, but I think Wolves will be smart enough to allow that to happen, and then they will know how to score and just beat Crystal Palace at their ground. So yeah, 1-0 to Wolves is going to be my prediction on that one for tomorrow's game. Alright, and then we move on into Aston Villa against Fulham. Now, of course, Aston Villa drew against Brentford, and they could have won if one of those players put the chances in the back of the net to make it 2-1, and my prediction would have been spot on, because I went 2-1 to Aston Villa, but that didn't happen. Whereas for Fulham, their last game, they beat Leeds United 2-1. Of course, I was one goal away for predicting 3-1, so I got a point on that one. So, yeah. So for this one, I feel like it's going to be a really difficult game for Fulham, because ever since Unai Emery took the job, he has got more points up to the FIFA World Cup, so he's doing a fantastic job. Whereas for Fulham, it's completely different. If you look at Aston Villa, if they would have beaten Brentford, they would have been, I think they would have been on the same points as Tottenham, but just only because of the goal difference, it's only like you know they'll be in sixth place, and they could have easily been a team that could be in the top four if Man United continue to lose games. Of course, Man United do have 2 games in hand, so yeah. So I still think that Man United will still be in the top four, but as Villa, man, if they would have beaten Brentford, they could have had the chance. They could have had the team that everyone will be talking about. Could Aston Villa make it to the top four? Because I don't think they would, but yeah, they could have definitely proved everyone wrong. So yeah, that disappointing result against Brentford, but listen, they're still unbeaten and they still have a loss, so that's a good thing. So for this game tomorrow, I have to go for a 2-0 Aston Villa win. I think Ollie Watkins didn't score in the game against Brentford, but I think he will score in this game, since he loves scoring goals at Villa Park, and I think he will be Brendan Diaz. No, not Brendan Diaz. Sorry. Maybe some other defender like Tyrell Mings will score for Aston Villa. So those are going to be my 2 goal scorers for that game tomorrow. I think Fulham will just make it easy. And look, that last home game against Newcastle was unbelievable. I went for 2-2, but Crystal Palace, Aston Villa absolutely destroyed them, especially on the left-hand side. And I think they'll do that again, because they cause more threat on the left than in the middle and on the right-hand side. So yeah, that left-hand side, I'm not sure if Fulham can achieve that defending on the right-hand side, but we shall wait and see. So yeah, that game tomorrow, I have to go for Aston Villa with 2-0. They really are impressing me, and Aston Villa have done what Chelsea should have done, but we done it too late while they done it on the right time. So there you go. So 2-0 to Aston Villa is going to be my prediction on that one tomorrow. Right, Leeds United against Leicester City. Now, Leeds United, they've lost against Fulham, and by that, there are 1 point by Leicester City, because, like I said, that draw, since Leicester City beat, who was it? Wolves 2-1, and since Everton drew against, Crystal Palace 0-0, they're only 1 point. So in order for Leeds United to stay in the Premier League, they need to make sure that Leicester City drop points and Everton also drop points. But the battle for survival, you know what? The games I'll be watching tomorrow are Aston Villa, Fulham, and Leeds United, Leicester City. I cannot wait for those ones, especially Leeds United, Leicester City, because if that game ends in a draw, then both teams will not like that. They want their team to win. So yeah, for Leicester City though, both teams are poor. Like Leeds United are poor at home, and Leicester City are poor away from home. So Yeah, this game is going to be so tough to predict. But since these two are in the bottom three, I have to go for a draw at least a draw. So I'm going to go for 2-2. I think Leicester City will score 2 goals, but Leeds United will fight back to make it 2-2, and that's how the game will end. So yeah, Kelechi Iheanacho and maybe Jamie Vardy will score for Leicester, whereas for Leeds United, Patrick Bamford and also that other Leeds United player's name which I've forgotten was also score for them. So yeah, I mean it's so tough, but I'm gonna go for a Leeds United and Leicester City draw 2-2. It's gonna be so tough, but I'll be definitely looking forward to that game tomorrow at Ellen Ward. So yeah, make sure you guys check that out when I'll be telling you guys what the actual score is. Alright, so we move on into Wednesday's games. Let's start with Nottingham Forest against Brighton. Now, of course, Brighton was so unlucky not to be in the final because it looks like the manager saying that they were the better than Manchester United. Now, of course, I didn't watch the whole game, but I did watch on penalties, and like I said, Man United win on penalties, so I got that right. So the whole game, I'm not sure. I looked at the highlights and maybe thought to myself, yeah, maybe because Brighton play much better football than Man United. Of course, when these two met each other in the Premier League, Brighton have beat them 2-1. So when these two face each other at the Community State at the Amex, I expect Brighton to get their revenge. So there you go. So Brighton was so unlucky, but listen, we love penalties, we all hate them. So yeah, there you go. So Brighton against Nottingham Forest. Of course, Nottingham Forest, yeah. I don't know. I mean, they conceded, then they scored. They conceded, then they scored. They conceded, and that is it. So it looks like Liverpool definitely got revenge because Nottingham Forest beat them 1-0 at the City Ground, whereas Liverpool they beat them 3-2 at Anfield. So there you go. So for this game tomorrow, Brighton, I'm better playing football than Nottingham Forest. So my first one is that I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest win of 1-0. But the fact that Brighton are playing much better football than Nottingham Forest, I have to go for Brighton win of 2-0. I think Matoi is an absolute baller. He's a player to watch, man, for Nottingham Forest, man. He really is. So I think Matoma will score, and I think is it Danny? Yeah, Danny Welbeck. Yeah, Danny Welbeck will score for Brighton. So those are going to be the 2 goals for us for that game on Wednesday. 2-0 to Brighton is going to be my prediction on that one. So yeah, I mean, if Nottingham Forest can get to win, that means that there will be out of the bottom three, depending on the other results. So yeah, it's a must win for Nottingham Forest, but I can't just see that happening against Brighton. So yeah, so 2-0 to Brighton is going to be my prediction on that one on Wednesday. Right, we move on into a West London derby between Chelsea and Brentford. Now, of course, Chelsea haven't done the double for Brentford because last season we beat them 1-0, then we lost to them 4-1. This season we drew 0-0, and yeah, it looks like Chelsea are back after a week worth of rest after that 2-0 and 4-0 aggregate defeat against Real Madrid. So I don't know what to expect, you know. If I were going for a Chelsea win, then I haven't watched a big Chelsea this season. So yeah, I mean, I do expect Chelsea to win because I have a week rest, but honestly, like, I just can't trust Chelsea anymore, especially Lampard losing 4 games in a row and only scoring 1 goal. So yeah, I think Brentford will get this win because I see Ivan Toney destroying Chelsea's defense, um, and I think he'll score 2 goals against us. So there you go. So I think 2-0 to Brentford. Honestly, I've plus that Chelsea goal was a deflected goal. So I don't know why they gave it to Conor Gallagher, but that took a deflection. So yeah, I was happy that we scored, but I also told you guys that that we're not going to win this game. So the Chelsea Brentford game, if we score a goal, I still don't think we're going to win because Brentford are still above us, and they're above us by 5 points. Of course, we've got the game in hand, but they're above us by 5 points. If they beat us, they'll be 8 points ahead of us. So I know, and nobody expects Brentford to be above Chelsea, not this season. So there you go. So I'm not going to talk about this too much because I'm going to talk about this in my match preview tomorrow. So make sure you guys check that out. But yeah, 2-0 to Brentford. That's all I've got to say on that one. Right, West Ham United against Liverpool. Now, of course, West Ham United destroyed Bournemouth 4-0, which I didn't expect. Whereas for Liverpool, they beat Nottingham Forest 3-2, but very, very lucky there not to get a draw. So there you go. So this game is at the London Stadium. Of course, West Ham due against Arsenal. But can Liverpool show Arsenal how to win? Because for me, Liverpool, they got Jota, who is back. He's been scoring goals. Mo Salah is getting back to form, and yeah, Luis Diaz is I don't think he's fit enough, but he's still on the bench. So yeah, for that reason, I'm gonna go for a 3-1 Liverpool win, because I think West Ham will score, but I think Liverpool will be all over them. They will dominate them. They will just kill West Ham off, and yeah, and that point by West Ham was good because they were 6 points, the same points as Wolves. So, and of course, West Ham got a game in hand. So, if West Ham do beat Liverpool, then I can definitely see them staying up for next season. I know, of course, the season is over yet, but if West Ham continue to get that unbeaten record, winning one, then I can definitely see them staying up for next season. So, yeah, but for this game, it's going to be difficult for them against Liverpool. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 Liverpool win. I think Jota, Salah, and Darwin Núñez will score for Liverpool. For West Ham, it's probably Declan Rice. So that's going to be the goal scorers for that game on Wednesday. So 3-1 to Liverpool is going to be my prediction on that one. Right, then we move on into the big game, the game of this week. Manchester City against Arsenal, the race for the title. Now, of course, Man City are through to the final, and they could perhaps win a treble, but can Arsenal stop this from happening? Because Man City had a chance to win a quadruple, but after they lost against Southampton, that was done. Can Arsenal stop Man City from winning the treble and becoming the best Premier League team ever? We should wait and see. So, for this game, I'm going to go for a 1-0, just a slight 1-0 Man City win. Of course, many people would disagree and go for 3-0, 4-0, but listen, actually, you know what? Yeah, my mind is telling me something. My mind is telling me something. Let me go for 3-0 actually for Manchester City, because William Saliba is going to be out from now on and for this game and also the Chelsea game. So yeah, Rob Holding, I'm not sure he's going to be handling Erling Haaland. So yeah, I changed my mind. I'm going to go for 3-0 Man City. If William Saliba was there, maybe I could have gone for Man City win of 1-0, but the fact that he's injured still, sorry Arsenal fans, but listen, you don't have a good record against Man City. You lost them in the FA Cup, you lost to them in the Emirates, and I can see you losing them again. So, sorry Arsenal fans, but let's see what you can do. If you do beat Man City, then 100% hand on heart as a rival fan saying that you definitely win the title. But if you bottle this one, then you just have to give City the title, because honestly, they're absolutely flying right now. So they were in the Champions League semi-final, they were in the FA Cup final, they were in the title race. So yeah, but can you stop that from happening? We just have to wait and see. So yeah, sorry Arsenal fans, but I have to go for for Man City with a 3-0. And like I said, I'll be doing a live watching on with that one, a double one. So make sure you guys check that out on Wednesday. Right, we move on into Newcastle United against Everton. Now, like I said, Newcastle absolutely destroyed Tottenham by scoring 5 goals in the first 21 minutes in that first half. So, yeah, for Everton, they drew against Crystal Palace, which was good, but it wasn't good enough. They need to get that win. For Everton, though, even though it's at Goodison Park, I don't know what to say other than the Newcastle United win a 3-0. I don't think Newcastle would do what they did against Tottenham, because Sean Dyche doesn't concede lots of goals. He doesn't concede like 4 or 5 or 6. So there you go. So, but I think Newcastle will absolutely obliterate and just batter Everton. Not completely batter them like they did for Tottenham, but I feel like they will get this game over in the second half. They'll score 3 goals. I see Joe Linton scoring, Isaac scoring, Callum Wilson scoring, and yeah, and for Newcastle, they've got a game in hand. So, oh sorry, have they? Yeah, they've got a game in hand. Yeah, a game in hand. So there you go. So yeah, Newcastle. If they, I feel like they'll continue to win and they'll definitely finish in the top four. And no team has ever predicted this for. But the reason why Newcastle are there and other teams like maybe Chelsea and Liverpool aren't is because Newcastle are doing well, but for Chelsea and Liverpool they aren't. So that's why Newcastle finished in the top four. So there you go. So yeah, so Newcastle. I see you finishing the Champions League next season, and yeah, so well done. The first time they've done it since the year I was born. So there you go. So 3-0 to Newcastle United is going to be my prediction on that one. Right, Southampton against Bournemouth. Now this one is so tricky because Bournemouth got destroyed by West Ham, but Southampton was so unlucky not to get that win against Arsenal. So yeah, if you look at the table here. Southampton need to get this win because if they win and Nottingham Forest, Everton, Leicester City and Leeds United all lose their game, that means they could have a chance of staying up. So it has to be a must win for Southampton. For Bournemouth, they are 5 points ahead of these teams in the bottom three. So yeah, if they do win, then I see Southampton getting relegated. So yeah, it must be for Southampton, but it's so difficult to predict. But my head is telling me that this game is going to be a draw, but it's really difficult to predict. It really is. So it's so difficult, man. It really is. Like both teams didn't win their game, but you know what? Yeah, since it's at St Mary's. And since the atmosphere I know is going to be working, I have to go for just a slight 1-0 Southampton win um, because like I said, Bournemouth got destroyed by West Ham, which I didn't expect that to happen. If they would have won, then maybe I could have gone for Bournemouth win. But yeah, but since it's at St Mary's and since it's a tough place to go to because the atmosphere for the Southampton fans, I have to go for 1-0 Southampton win. I think they'll nick it. The goal scorer for me, I think it's going to be James Ward-Prowse from that free kick. Unless if he's not fit, then maybe I'll go for Kyle Walker-Peters. So yeah, those going to be the goal scorers for that game on Thursday. So there you go. So I'm going to go for a slight 1-0 Southampton win against Bournemouth on that game on Thursday. And finally, last and not least, another good game. Well, not so, but Tottenham Hotspur against Manchester United. Of course, Man United are through to the FA Cup final. They're flying after they got knocked out by Sevilla last week. They've already won a trophy, and they already finished, and they could potentially finish in the top four. So, whereas for Tottenham, they're not in the top four. They're not winning a trophy, and they're not having a really good season. So, yeah, since if they would have had Jules Nagelsmann as the next manager before this game, maybe I could have gone for a Tottenham win of probably 2-1. But the fact that Wyatt Mason is the interim manager and he hasn't been a manager since then, well, he has 2 years ago, but before then he hasn't been a manager. Honestly, Tottenham are an absolute joke. They're embarrassing and they're a laughing stock. So yeah, I expect Man United to go out there and just destroy Tottenham, especially at White Hart Lane, because Tottenham don't have a really good record against Man United at White Hart Lane. And plus, Man United have done the double for them last season, and I can see them doing the double for Tottenham again this season. So yeah, for Man United, I see Rashford scoring, Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro. I think Casemiro will absolutely destroy Tottenham's midfield, because Tottenham for back four absolutely got embarrassed. So yeah, if Tottenham also going for back four, then I can see them getting embarrassed by Man United. I don't think Man United will batter like they did, like Newcastle did, but I expect them to score 3 goals, keep a clean sheet, and yeah, just make Spurs life more difficult. So yeah, and I heard that Spurs season tickets going to rise up a bit. So there you go. And their stadium is going to full of NBA's Formula One, having Beyonce. So yeah, Tottenham are just an absolute joke. So thank God that I don't support Tottenham, and I never ever will. So that is it. That is it. So 3-0 to Manchester United is going to be a prediction on that one. Alright guys, so that is all my predictions for this week. midweek games. Let me go through them one more time. So the first one tomorrow, I've gone for Wolves 1-0 win against Crystal Palace. Then I've gone for a convincing 2-0 win Aston Villa against Fulham. Then I've gone for 2-2 between Leicester City and Leeds United, the battle for survival, of course. Then Wednesday's games, I've gone for a 2-0 Brighton win against Nottingham Forest. Then I've gone for a shock. Well, not a shock, but yeah, convincing 2-0 Brentford to win against Chelsea. Then I've gone for a convincing 3-1 Liverpool win against West Ham United. Then I've gone for a 3-0 Man City win against Arsenal. I think Erling Haaland will score for Arsenal like he did in the Emirates. And yeah, I think he'll score 2 goals, and I think maybe Kevin De Bruyne will score. He just loves scoring against Arsenal, doesn't he? So yeah, 3-0 to Man City on that one. Then on Thursday's games, I'll go for 3-0 Newcastle United win against Everton. Then I'll go for a slight 1-0 Southampton win against Bournemouth. And last and not least, another good game is Man United 3-0 win against Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah, the 2 great games, but the one I'm looking forward to, like I said, is Manchester City against Arsenal. Definitely coming that game and also the Chelsea game at the same time. So make sure you hit the bonus notifications so that you never miss any of those. It's going to be absolutely great. I want to watch the Man City Arsenal than the Chelsea Brentford. So there you go. And I'll also be doing a live watch along for the Tottenham versus Manchester United game. So there you go. That game will be on the Thursday. So make sure you guys check that out. Right, guys, the games are coming in thick and fast. The season is about to close, so when Gameweek 33, of course, there's teams that still got game in hand, the likes of Newcastle, Brighton, Chelsea, Manchester City, all of these teams. So let's see what the Premier League does for those fixtures for 19 of the season, because the season ends on the 20th of May. So the Premier League have to figure out which games they can put in order for them to not put after the season is finished. So we have to wait and see, of course. So yeah, so I've been waiting for the Chelsea's Man United game fixture for that one since that game has been postponed. So, and I'll be telling you guys when that game will be kicking off at Old Trafford. So there you go. So make sure you guys, so I'll let you know. So make sure you guys don't miss that one. Alright guys, this has been a long video, but I hope you find this interesting and useful. If you do enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new. Hit the bell notifications, because tomorrow I'll be doing a match preview between Chelsea and Brentford. Then on Wednesday, like I said, Chelsea, Brentford, Man City, Arsenal watch along. Then the match reaction for the Chelsea Brentford game. Then on Thursday, Tottenham versus Man United. So make sure you guys don't miss any of those. So busy week for me and for you guys too that are watching right now. Make sure you click the share button so that you guys can give your opinion on my predictions and watch and let me know your predictions. Let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, make sure you guys click the share button. Everyone is welcome to my channel, whatever you like. So make sure you guys do all of those 4 things. Alright guys, I hope you have an amazing week. Good luck to all of your teams, and yeah, may the battle for survival, may the battle for the top 4, may the battle for the waits for the title continues. So that's what all of the Premier League. It's one of the best leagues in the world. And before I close, I have to say, this is the 14th time this season that managers have been sacked to the Premier League, which is the most in Premier League history, because before Graham Potter was sacked, it was equal. But ever since Graham Potter was sacked, it's been 13, has been the most ever this season. So Cristino Celletti is next, so that is number 14. Honestly, like so many sackings this season in the Premier League. So that's why the Premier League is one of the best leagues in the world. There's highs, there's lows, there's somewhere in the middle. So there you go. So that's why all of the Premier League. Even I love the Premier League as a Chelsea fan. So yeah, there you go. That's it. So have a great day, guys. See you guys very soon. Take care. God bless you, and I'll see you guys very soon. Have a great day, guys, and I'm out of here. Peace.